Hey guys, welcome back to Gardening in Cold Spring Harbor. For those of you who are new to my videos or maybe forgotten, we are in Zone 7A, Long Island, New York. Thank you again for joining me in this video. Again, we are in the middle of winter 2023. Right now, it is almost the second week of February. But today, as you could see, is a very, very sunny, slightly breezy day. The skies are blue, not a single cloud in the sky. The sun is shining, and I am wearing a t-shirt outside, you guys. Again, this is winter, middle of winter 2023. Yet here in Zone 7A, we woke up to temperatures in the low 50s. When I woke up at 6 o'clock this morning to get my kids ready to go to school, the temperatures were already in the low 50s. It was about 53 degrees. Right now it is 56 degrees. And the expected high for today is 61 degrees, you guys. 61. Who would have ever thought that in February, technically beginning of February, I'm going to be standing in my backyard wearing a t-shirt, you guys. But I guess Mother Nature is very unpredictable. And last week, as you may remember, we had a Arctic blast for 2 days, you guys. Last Friday and last Saturday was the peak of the Arctic frost. Our temperatures went down to as low as 3 degrees Fahrenheit. With the wind chill, it felt like minus 14 degrees, you guys. But today, exactly a week later, today's Friday again, we are going to hit a record of 61 degrees. I have already shown you in the last video how I started my onion plants from seed. You guys came with me on that journey. I showed you exactly which materials I need and I use to start my onions from seed indoors. I showed you the 4 varieties of onion that I planted. Well, today, because of this gorgeous, gorgeous weather, yet again, I am very motivated to start another vegetable inside in my seeding trays from seed. Some of you might ask, what is it that she's going to plant today? What else other than onions can you plant so early on in the season? Again, we are in Zone 7A, Long Island, New York. And today I am going to show you guys how I start artichokes from seed inside, indoors, in my seeding trays. So come with me and let me show you how we're going to plant these gorgeous vegetables indoors from seed. And again, you guys, artichoke is one of those veggies. They take quite a while to mature, to grow. And even on this packet, it tells you in the back that you need to start these seeds indoors 8 to 12 weeks prior to your last frost date. And here in Zone 7A, our last frost date is roughly April 15th, you guys. So it is perfect time to start these guys indoors. And another thing about artichokes, they take roughly 85 days until harvest time. So if you do the math, that's roughly 3 months until you are able to pick the harvest. So let's come inside and let's get started. So here we are, you guys. We're back inside of my home. And as you can see, we'll be using my kitchen again to start these artichoke seeds indoors in seeding trays from seed. Let me show you how easy it is, how quick it is, and how convenient it is to start growing your artichoke from seed. And again, you don't need any expensive supplies, any out of this world crazy materials, soils, some crazy expensive fertilizers. You need basic seeding essentials, and you could start growing artichokes at home from seed. So let me show you what supplies, what exactly I'm gonna need today to start these seeds from scratch. So of course, I'm gonna need my seeding trays. As you could see, each one has a drainage hole on the bottom, so there is no water accumulating in the roots of these plants. I have this tray, the bottom trays, where once I fill up these little squares with a seed starting mix, and of course put my seed in, I'm gonna place these inside this tray. Then of course I have my clear dome, which will go on top like so. Again, everything will condensate in there, you know, creating the perfect environment, perfect temperatures. I have my seed starting potting mix. I showed you guys in the previous video what this looks like inside. Again, it is not the same as regular potting soil. It is very different in texture. It is very soft. It is very fluff. It is very airy, and it's enriched with special minerals and vitamins to help your seeds jump start and grow successfully. On top, of course, I'm gonna sprinkle my vermiculite. I have shown you in a previous video what vermiculite is, how I use it, and what the benefits of this natural mineral are. So again, this is our vermiculite. Also very airy, very light, very fluffy. The main purpose of this is to retain moisture. So in case you do overwater your seeds, accidentally of course, no need to worry. This natural mineral will do the job for you and absorb the water, the extra water, to prevent root rot or insects. Next, of course, I have my gardening marker, my label, so I can label exactly what kind of artichoke I'm planting today. This little hefty tool that I'll be using to make a little divot in the middle of my seed starting mix inside my trays. And of course, my artichoke seeds. Today I will be trying to plant the green globe artichoke. Let me show you guys what artichoke seeds look like. Here you go, you guys. I opened my green globe artichoke packet. I'm using this white sheet of paper towel for contrast purposes, so the seeds do not blend in with my brown, you see, kitchen counters. So as you could see, these are artichoke seeds. They are kind of oval in shape. If I had to describe it, they are relatively large. They are grayish, light olive-ish colors, if I may say so. Remember when I showed you the onion seeds? Do you guys remember how tiny those were? They look almost like black pepper specks. These are much, much larger. They almost remind me of sunflower seeds. Well, without the black shells, of course. Or almost like small pine nuts in a way. Again, so these are artichoke seeds. So right now, I'm going to start mixing my seed starting mix. And I'll just give you a quick 10 seconds overview of how I do it, even though I showed you already that process in my video where we planted my onion seeds. But I'll give you a quick 10-second recap again for those of you who missed my onion planting video. Again, today I will be using my kitchen, my counter top space to plant these artichoke seeds in my seed starting trays. Again, you guys can use specialized soil trays, seeding trays to mix your seed starting mix. I use a regular metal mixing bowl that I have in my kitchen. Again, of course, I wash it afterwards. But once again, I'm going to have my little helper here, Julia, helping me fill up my seeding trays. So again, you don't need anything fancy ever. I use my regular mixing bowl that I have in my kitchen. I pour the seed starting mix directly in here. So I have about half of this bowl filled. And what I like to do is I like to put water directly into this mix. I've shown you this before in my previous video. So you add enough. And then you get in there with your hands and you quickly start mixing it in till you get the right texture, right consistency. Again, if you feel you added too much water, not a problem at all. All you do is you sprinkle a little more of your seed starting mix and you mix again and you get your mix to the right consistency that you need. So here you go. I have mixed my seed starting mix thoroughly. And now my little helper here is going to start helping me put this mixture into our seed starting trays. So again, here is the texture that you want to achieve the consistency. It should feel moist, wet to touch, but it still should be pretty airy, pretty light, pretty soft. It shouldn't feel dry because then you haven't added enough water. And when you squeeze, you see I'm squeezing, you should never see water or liquid dripping out like out of a faucet, because that would mean that you added way too much water to your mix. As you can see, nothing's dripping and you can clearly feel and see the moisture in this. So here we go, you guys. My little helper is doing her magic again. As you could see, she is filling up, helping me fill up each of these little squares in our seed starting tray. Again, she's a little kid. She's only 3 years old, but I love when she helps me out. So I am letting her use one of my soup spoons to fill in these squares, which of course I'll wash afterwards. But what I usually do when my little helper is not around or is not in the mood to help me, I use my hand like so, pick up this mix and put it directly like so into the tray. I use my fingers and the palm of my hand to even out the mix so each of the squares gets exactly equal, even amounts. So while my little helper Julia is still filling up that seeding tray, I just wanted to tell you guys a little more about artichoke. So artichoke is a very hardy vegetable. In fact, zones 7 through 11, and again, we are in zone 7A. We're in Long Island, New York. But if you live in zone 7 through 11, you can grow artichokes as a perennial, you guys. Believe it or not, if you prune it down, if you could take good care of your plant, you do not have to pull it out of the soil. In fact, pruning it down will be plenty for it to come back next year and grow again. If you are in colder climate zones, zones 6 and below, then you guys only can grow artichoke as an annual, meaning you would have to start it either from a plant or from seeds every single growing season. So even if you prune it down and you leave the root system in your soil, do not expect it to come back the following year, as your temperatures get way too cold in the winter and the artichoke will not make it. But for those in zone 7 to 11, what wonderful news, what a wonderful hardy vegetable artichoke is. It will come back to grow for you every single growing season without you having to replant it or start more from seeds. Again, if you want to grow more artichokes or a different variety, by any means, you can plant more artichokes, start more artichokes from seeds. But if you have those existing ones already in your garden, in your soil, all you have to do is prune them and they'll come back for you next year so you can harvest them all over again. So now I'm going to use this hefty little tool that I showed you before. What I'm going to do is I'm going to work on this square, the first one in the corner. So I'm going to make a tiny little hole in the middle. Well, of course, I'm going to proceed with each one the same way. So I'm going to make a little tiny hole in the middle of each one. And once you made that hole, you're going to take one of your artichoke seeds. And of course, you're going to put it right inside. And then you're going to use the same little tool to cover up your seed. And then we proceed with each and every one of the other squares exactly the same fashion. So here we go. So there goes hole number 2. Here, Julia. Put it in our third square. Good girl. Look, Mommy's gonna make more. Here. Let's finish up this row. Here, sweetie, in the middle. Good girl. One more. And then we're done with this row. See, these seeds are large enough that even my 3-year-old can hold them pretty easily with her little hands without dropping them or breaking them or causing any damage. So there you go. So now I'm going to cover the rest up exactly in the same way. There is no need to water, as remember we already pre-mixed our seed starting mix with water prior to adding the mix to this tray. And now that our seeding tray is fully complete, the seeds are inside, have been covered with soil. Now it's time to add some of our vermiculite to the top of the trays. What I like to do is I simply, again, sprinkle it just like so. You can help, honey, 1 second. See, you cover each one of the squares. As you could see, vermiculite is totally safe. It is clean. It does not leave any residue, any dust, any odors. I even let my little 3-year-old kid, my 3-year-old daughter, touch it and help me add it to our seeding trays. Again, what vermiculite does, it is a natural mineral, and its main purpose, its main job is to help retain moisture. So while my daughter was sprinkling some additional vermiculite, I already used my garden marker, and I labeled this plastic label Green Globe Artichoke. And in the back, I put down the date, today's date, when we put these seeds into the trays. I put down the harvest time, 85 to 120 days, and 8 to 12 weeks prior to last frost, that these seeds need to be in the trays as a quick reminder. So I will leave this thing over here, and now I will cover up this tray with a clear cover dome. So here, my 3-year-old daughter, Julia, is helping me place the clear dome on our seeding tray. So this tray is all ready to, again, go in my green room, where I will keep it under certain air temperature. So usually my green room is always between 65 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and it has heated floors, which I don't think I mentioned in my last video with the onions. And because the floors are heated, and for now I'm placing these seeding trays directly on my floor, there is absolutely no need to add any heating pads underneath. So here we are back in my green room, you guys. As you could see, these are the trays that we planted last time. All of these are filled with 4 varieties of onion. Of course, each one from seed. As you could see, the domes, the clear domes that we placed on top are doing their job, serving their purpose. You can see the great amount of the condensation that build up inside, which is exactly what we want. You can see that this side is getting plenty of sunlight, which is also exactly what we want. So here, I'm gonna move this little cover, and excuse me, I am going to place our artichokes right there, right next to my onions. Again, this is getting plenty of gorgeous sunlight. I cannot wait to see how these artichokes will start to germinate and grow. Again, once I will see the germination, I will remove the clear dome and let them grow without it until it is time to transplant them. So the tray is now in my green room. And just one more quick tip. So artichokes do tend to get larger. So I did start the seeds in the seeding trays with the clear dome covering it. However, when I see them germinate, again, I will remove the clear dome. And once I see them get to a certain larger size, before transplanting them directly outside into the soil, I will first transplant them into these guys. They are natural, biodegradable pots. They're 3-inch pots. I will create drainage holes on the bottom with a sharp object such as a knife or scissors, and I will transplant them into these first. Let them build even stronger root system first, grow a bit larger, and only then I will finally transplant them, to their final location outside in the ground in my south side garden. I will take you on the journey with me in the future video to show you when and how I will be transplanting the artichokes to these larger, again, natural, biodegradable little 3-inch pots. As of for now, this is it for this video. Thank you for joining me, you guys. If you like this video, please click like. It makes me very happy to see people liking and enjoying my videos. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you do not miss any new upcoming videos. And of course, I would love to hear from you guys as well. I love hearing your comments, your tips, your advice. Please let me know if you ever planted artichokes. If you do, when do you start planting them? Do you start them from seed? If so, how do you do it? Which brand of seeds do you guys use? When do you choose to transplant them into your gardens? And for now, me and Julia will see you on our next video, right? Say bye, monkey. Bye.